My name is Michael Gabinelli, and welcome to another episode of Tech Talk Tuesdays. In this week's episode, we are going to be exploring dry bags. So, we're going to talk about what they are, what they do, and we're going to also show you how to properly use your dry bag if you have your own at home. So, this is my example bag. It's a 30-liter dry bag. So these do come in a whole bunch of sizes. They also come in a number of different strengths. So some are more resistant to water and some are less resistant to water. So you're going to want to look into the rating of that dry bag to find out how dry it really is going to keep your stuff. This one's a pretty heavy duty dry bag. It's got a very heavy duty, almost rubber material that's the entire bag. And as you can see, this is a very simple, just sack style bag. So there's no compartments inside of it or anything like that. It's just a big empty bag, right? At the top, you're gonna see your sealing hatches. So these two rubber flaps right here at the top are what's going to help you seal it and make it waterproof. And so dry bags are bags that are waterproof. They keep the stuff inside of them dry. So depending on the bag itself, they could be more or less, again, waterproof, depending on the material. This one's pretty great. That being said, it can't be fully submerged in water and keep everything completely dry. But if I splash it with water, or it's raining, or I spray with a hose, it will keep everything inside of it dry. So it's a really great thing to have when you're out on the water and you have stuff with you that you need to keep dry, maybe like your towel, some electronics perhaps. Anything that you got to keep dry is going to go in these bags. These bags do not breathe, and so if you do introduce anything wet into these, so something that will cool off, condense, it will create some moisture inside the bag. So you want to make sure that whatever you put in the dry bag is dry. Great. So one thing about these, if they're not closed properly, they will not keep your stuff dry. So it's really important that you use your dry bag properly. And so we're going to show you how to do that. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fill your dry bag with stuff. So I'm going to fill mine with a sleeping bag here. And this is a great example of something I would want to keep dry. If I was on a canoe trip or a raft trip, I wouldn't want to get to my campsite that night and have a wet sleeping bag because that's not very fun. So I would have my sleeping bag in a dry bag, 100%. You're just going to stuff it in there. All the way down to the bottom. Again, it's kind of like a stuff sack for a sleeping bag where you really are just going to be stuffing things in there. You want to get all the air pockets. Sometimes it's a good idea to shake all that stuff down to the bottom of the bag. You don't want to have a big air pocket down in the bottom of the bag below your equipment. Okay, so now that I have everything I want in my dry bag, I don't have a ton of air down here. It's the stuffed in nice and tight. Let's make sure I got it in there all the way. I'm going to close my bag, and this is the important part. So, first thing you're going to do is you're going to fold on that black flap. So you see right in the center, there's a line between these two black straps. I'm going to fold that over, keeping in mind to keep my buckles out to the side. Once I have one fold, I can push down with the opening out, get some of that air out of there, because that air, these things are pretty tight and they will actually hold air in there. So you can tell now that I have my air out, it's almost vacuum sealed that bag. Now that it's sealed, I'm gonna roll. And you want at least 3 rolls. If you have less stuff in here, you can roll it more, but you need At least 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. Great. And you know what? I still have a little more air I can get rid of. That's going to help me get another roll. So I'm going to actually be able to probably get 4 rolls on this. And again, if you can get more than 3, even better, because that's really going to seal that bag. So there's my 4 rolls. Once I have it rolled there, I'm going to bring the 2 buckles over the top and buckle them together. And that will become like a handle to carry our dry bag. And now I can spray this bad boy with a hose. I could splash it in a rapid. I could get rained on, and my sleeping bags will stay dry in this bag no matter what. So these are a great tool, again, when you're on the river. And again, remember, they're only as good as how they're used. And so if you don't close it properly, it might still get wet in there. So if you have a dry bag at home and you're using it and you're still having problems, make sure you're closing that bag all the way. Also, again, like I said, this is a heavier duty dry bag. They make some that are lighter duty, and so more for rain spritzings and less for getting hit with a big wave of water. And so this one will really keep your stuff dry. Some will keep them kind of dry, and some will just kind of keep the mist off of them. So really pick the dry bag that's appropriate for what you're doing with it. Great. Hope you guys had some fun learning about dry bags. Hope you guys are staying dry out there. And we'll see you next week for another Tech Talk Tuesday.